In this short video, I take you to a tiny little village called Alampur in eastern India. The village is not far from the road that connects the regional center, Burdwan town, to its northern countryside. The land lies between two ferocious rivers, the Damodar and the Ojoy, and have been enriched by the silt brought by them for years. Farming by the smallholder households also benefit from canal irrigation and are more prosperous than those in many other parts of India. The seasonal cycle of rice farming in the region attracts labor from other districts of the state. Poorer districts with less fertile soil, lower groundwater table, and no canal irrigation to carry out farming throughout the year. Many communities living in these drier and hillier tracts have adapted their lives to rice farming cycles of Burdwan. Over years of seasonal migration into the rice bowl of Burdwan, their own routines have been attuned to the rise and fall in labor demand in paddy farms. In this video, I will show you only a small part of the rice economy, the harvesting of paddy. Paddy is turned into rice through a labor-intensive process. Crucial to this is the labor of women from the migrant communities who come from the poorer districts into Burdwan. These women are usually from indigenous communities or from lower castes, marginal communities that inhabit marginal lands. They come to the golden fields of Burdwan to help rice farmers bring the wealth into their homes, but they themselves earn only meager amounts for the labor they put into rice harvesting. Cutting of mature, ripe paddy is the first step in harvesting. The paddy stalks are then transported in cycle vans or carts from rice fields into the village and dumped in front of the owner's home. Women run the threshers to separate the rice grain covered by the husk from the straw. The straw too will be of use to feed domestic cattle, to use as a shed of huts and so on. Men and women work together and often migrate as a family unit. Men tend to do the heavier tasks, whereas women do the more repetitive or more minute tasks. These tasks have been allocated to women and men over generations. Year after year, these women come to do these tasks, and men too do what is allocated to them. Sometimes the women and men bring their children with them, particularly if they are too small to be left alone with somebody else. Together, they usher into farming households of Burdwan the Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, in her form as paddy, which is harvested from the field. Beating the straw with a stick is to release the last few grains that might still be sticking onto the stalks. The gola is where the paddy is stored. It is a cylindrical shaped container made of straw with a straw roof. After the harvest, paddy is stored here. For a rice farming household, the gola is equivalent to a temple where Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, is housed. It is also the householder's primary asset, where the returns from the year's harvest and the investments are held. This proud landowner takes me into his house. He introduces me to his mother, the widow who's wearing white. It is she who technically owns the land. Her son manages farming, hiring labor who offer their sweat to bring the Lakshmi into his home, the goddess. The rice harvest time is a special time. Through the branches of trees, I can see golden rice everywhere. Almost all houses have rice dumped on their front yards. Every nook and cranny of the village is smelling of beautiful golden rice, freshly cut from the field. The Lakshmi, the goddess of rice, the goddess of wealth, has come to this village. But she has been brought by luckless Lakshmis, Lakshmis who had to leave their homes to make it possible for others to enjoy the wealth.